Hi students, welcome to today's tutorial. So today's tutorial is about how to do masking. Okay, so first you go to file. Of course you need to create your documents, right? So you go to file, new, and then let's just choose a custom. All right, a custom. Can key in our numbers here. So let's see, maybe width about 1000 pixels, times 700 pixels, and we're gonna do a landscape. All right, so it's a white resolution. We're just gonna do 72, should be enough. RGB colors, yes. White paper for default. Okay, it's gonna click create. All right, then I'm gonna import in file. So let's see, so imports the rock here, so it open up another document. So first one and the second one, and yeah, I'm gonna bring this by using my move selection tools on the keyboard, I mean on the toolbar here, and I can just drag and put my mouse at the untitled document, and then you see there's a plus sign there on the mouse, and then you can release the mouse. Whoa, it's quite big and overwhelming because the image is bigger. It's quite big. All right, if you want to check the information of the image, like how big is the pixels, the size of the image, you can select the document here and then go to under edit, under image and image size, and you will see the information here is actually bigger. It's 4000 by 3000 pixels, about 300 dpi resolution, ppi resolution. So that's why it's quite it's quite big and sharp. So yeah, and it's about 40.5 megabyte. So that's how you read information from your documents regarding the size. Okay, so I'll go back here, and now how to make this smaller. To make this smaller, you can go to edit, and then make sure you select the appropriate layer that you want. Okay, appropriate layer that you want to resize, and then you go to edit, and then you see free transform, and then you see you see the free transform over here. So the shortcut key is Control T. Alright, so if you're using Mac, I think it's Command T. Alright, so once you have that, it's too big, the size of the window, so we're going to use the information that appears here right after we choose the tools. The tool is actually still active, so now I'm going to type in there's some disturbance here. I'm going to type in the resolution, both not to be 100% because this is original size, but I'm going to click this also to link so that the ratio of the width and the height is the same. Alright, so I'm going to type in let's half of it, 50%, and you see that the width is 50%, the height will also be 50% because of the link, the one that when I click this link here is maintain aspect ratio. Okay, let's move on a bit here. See, it's still big, but at least it's big enough for me to manually scale it down from here. So I can see the edge of the picture here. Now I'm going to hold shift and then put my mouse at the edge of the corner of the image, and then click and drag to resize it. But be careful when you do that, right? Because if you don't hold shift, you will be distorting it, so you don't want that to happen. Okay, now I even I force myself to distort it, it doesn't distort because yeah, the link is on. If I turn off the link, you will see that now the rock is far stretched, far squeezed. I'm gonna hit Ctrl Z to undo, and yeah, why not just click on the link here, and then, or just hold shift and then just drag smaller. Okay, so once I have this, I think this is appropriate size for it, then I'm going to hit enter to finish the free transform tools. See, now you don't see the transform tools, the transform guide here. Okay, again, Control T. If you need to resize, hold shift, increase it, and then hit enter to finalize it. Alright, so let's mask, let's remove the background, alright, of him. Let's crop him up. Okay, so the first method that you can use is for that, let me just duplicate this layer in case, just in case. So I'm just gonna click and drag and pull it, drop it at the new create new layer buttons over there. It will create a new copy, but then I'm gonna hide the original, I mean the copy. So I'm just, or maybe I hide the original and reveal the copy, and I will do things to the copy instead of the original. So it's like a backup lah. Alright. Okay. I can even rename it to, let's say, original. Okay, just to add notes so that I know this is the original. Okay, now I'm selecting the copy, and okay, so now the traditional way, I mean, what you can do is you can use eraser tool, which is E on the keyboard, which is invoking these tools over here. All of these tools, you see there is this small arrow here, which means there are more than one. Some have it, some doesn't have it. For example, like the magnifying glass here, it doesn't have a small arrow, so you cannot have you don't have any other additional tools in there. There's no drawer in there. So if you like this one, like the eraser, if you click and hold it, you notice there you go, there are other tools here. Alright, but for now we're going to focus on the eraser tools, which is this one. And eraser tool, when you brush it off with your mouse, see there's a size here, right? So this is the circle there shows that it's the brush size. You know, if you have a brush like this, it will straight away delete it, and you won't get it back unless you be able to undo it. So I'm going to Control Z to get it back. So it's a very destructive way of doing this one method. Before that, I want to show you how to resize the brush. You see the bracket. If you can see the the shortcut key is a bracket on your keyboard. Let me draw that bracket. Let me just bring tools here. And okay, see, if you see the key on your keyboard, if you see there is this bracket over here, this icon right next to the enter, you will see this is to minus, this is to increase. So this is to minus, this is to plus. Okay, all right. So that is on there's a shortcut key on the keyboard there. All right, delete that, and okay, let's continue. So to make the brush bigger or smaller, I will hit that bracket. See, big, small, or you can go here and adjust the brush size. See, brush is smaller, but always just use the bracket, more easier. Okay, then you can delete away that you don't want. But be careful, once you delete, you cannot get it back unless you be able to undo. So it's a one-way ticket kind of tools here. This is how you can, but it's very hard to use things like this. And while you're doing work like this, right, you can also zoom in. Of course, you can hit the Z on the keyboard or the magnifying glass tools here, and click and drag, and then go back to your eraser tool. And if you're dealing with a smaller angle here, you need to make the brush smaller a little bit, and carefully delete the one you don't want. That is one way of using eraser to brush off or delete the part that you don't need. Okay, that's one method. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go zoom back. Okay, now I'm going to delete this, or I'm going to just rename this as eraser method. Okay, all right, now I'm going to duplicate now I'm going to hide the eraser method, Okay, and I'm gonna make a copy of the original, and this one I'm gonna name it as the lasso method. Okay, this is another method. Okay, I'm gonna hide the original, and let's work on the lasso method layer. Alright, so another method to crop a subject is to use the lasso, which is on the third of tools here. There's also a small drawer here. You can click and drag, and click and hold it, and then it will reveal 3 different method of lasso tools. So the first one is like this. Let's say I want to delete this part first. So it's a free-form lasso, and then once I select and I release my mouse, it will have this dotted line, which means this is the selected area that you're focusing on. When you hit delete on the keyboard, it will delete that part. Now if you want to move on to another section, you can click and drag it and hit delete, or if you want to make a new one, just make a new one like this. Then when you release your mouse, see, it will form a close and you can delete. And now if you want to remove this dotted line, you can put your mouse in the center, inside the loop here, and then click one time, and then it will disappear. Okay, so yeah, this is a free form method of selecting and then delete. Also a one-way ticket kind of method, like the eraser. You cannot get it back if you accidentally delete more like this. Just pray that you're able to undo that until that part. Okay, let's move on to another lasso, which is a magnetic lasso. Magnetic lasso have these settings over here. All these tools, when you select, see the tools change on top here, the settings of it. Alright, you see the settings of the tools is up there. Alright, so let's go back here, and this is magnetic lasso tool. I'm going to zoom in a bit here. So what it does is it takes your information of the width and contrast, or it takes some color separation like contrast. If I set to 60%, how much it will compensate between this purple color and this color here. This I will not have much problem here because it's very different colors, but the problem is when you're dealing with this area around here. See, his color scheme and his background is both are brown, so you will expect that Photoshop will have quite a struggle to think and decide what you need to, what you need to select. So you will see. Alright, so all you need to do is just like the lasso tool, just click and drag your mouse, but just don't do it fast, just do it slowly. See, we'll try to, and you don't really have to place your mouse on the right spot. You can just loosely move your mouse there, and you will intelligently try to figure it out. But of course, it's computer, right? It doesn't know 100% what you want. See, for example, like here, see the color almost mixed together. So there you have it. There you will have a problem here. So I double click to close it, and there's a problem over here. So this is the weakness of these tools. You will have problem deciding what you want. You can always adjust this to get a better value, but trust me, this is the last tool that you want to use, unless the image is really contrasting, like 2 different colors. There's really 2 different colors, then it's fine. Like the black and white here, purple and white here, then it's fine. Okay. Yeah, one thing to add on to that is I'm going back to my lasso tool here. If you already create a selection, you can extend or add another selection by holding the shift key. If you hold shift, you see the lasso now have a plus sign. So if I add this, it will add to the selection. Okay, now what if you want to do the opposite, which is to minus? So you can hold alt, and you see now the lasso have a minus a symbol on the mouse there. Then you can minus the one you don't want. You can you can extract it. You can even extract at the center like this. When you delete, so it'll be like that. Okay. Right, so the most favorable to use in this condition is the Polygonal Lasso tool here. Polygonal Lasso tool. So it's more like not a freehand. You have to like click and click and double click, and it will close it like that. So it will end up making more boxy kind of selection. But you know, it's if you do it carefully, you can do a decent job. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to do it here. So like this. So you just do it slowly, because if you skip too much, it will then you will start to see more boxy. Okay, and the tips is when you crop using this method, make sure that you don't do all the way, you don't trace all the way. You trace a bit, then you delete. You trace a bit, then you delete, because you know when you rushed it, if you accidentally double click, it will close the lasso loop. So for example, I decide to stop until here, so I'm going to work my way there. Okay, then I'm going to delete all this excess, double click to close and hit enter to delete. Click to remove that. Right, so then I will move again. Maybe I just remove the excess here. I'll remove the excess here first. Alright, then I can just focus on the one that is closer to him. Right, and it goes on and this and until you get it finished lah. Right now, just the downside of doing this is you know, the most hardest part is if you have a subject with hair, because he's bald, so it's a bit easier to crop, right? But if you have a subject that have a hair, then you will have, then this method will be very hard for you to use, and you know, some part part of the hair it doesn't work. Okay, so I'm going to show you the third method, which is the last one here. Just now was eraser, then the lasso, and then now the most efficient one. Alright, and it's better this method here is called the masking, and it's better if you have a, of course, steady hand, and also a pen tablet. Alright, so then you can, you know, it's a brush based kind of style. Okay, so I'm gonna hide the lasso method. Not lesson, it's actually lasso. I misspelled this. Okay, alright, now I'm going to create another duplicate, and I'm going to name this as masking method. Okay, alright, now to do this method, alright, so how masking work is, let me create the layer first. You need to prepare this layer to become a masking layer. So click this, select this, and then select the one over here. It's called just hover your mouse there, it will say add layer mask. Okay, so you click this, then you see there's a layer mask on the side, and you can select between the original image and the layer mask. Okay, so now what you want is you want to paint stuff in the layer mask. Now how it works right now is everything in the paper for the layer mask here is white color, so white color will be opaque, will reveal. Then you need to paint a black color, so the black color will hide the things that you don't want. Okay, so and make sure you don't paint on the original image here. The bracket must be here. Alright, you must select the masking layer here. Okay, then you go to your brush, and whoa, that's a big brush, so I'm going to make the brush smaller, and you notice that the color swatch here become black and white. So if I go back here, okay, let's say I change this to red color. Alright, so oh yeah, because I'm selecting the original, I'm selecting the masking. So once you select the masking, automatically it will change to black and white. Okay, now, so let's say right now everything is white here, so if I paint black on the brush, I'm using the brush here, see now this will hide the things I don't want. Now I can swap this color, click this, or hit V on the keyboard, sorry, X on the keyboard, and I can paint back white if I want it back again. So this is very non-destructive way of doing doing cropping. All right, so let me just paint that black again, and you notice on the sorry, let me undo that. Oh, yeah, I am deleting it. Yeah, so basically now it's gone. You see I'm painting, there's a black color over here, so I'm painting black there to mask this part here to be hidden. Right, then I just, if I want it back, I just switch to a white color brush, and then I just paint white, and you notice the here there's not much black anymore. Okay, now you notice my brush is soft. So how to change the brush? You can right click and you can choose other brush types here. So right now this is set to soft. Soft is good if you're dealing with the hair, but right now I just want a hard round brush. Okay, or you can go to Windows and brushes. Okay, this will open your gallery of brushes, which I will explain later in another class. All right, yeah, so now I'm gonna paint black with a hard brush, and I will just quickly, with a big brush, I will quickly and carefully delete most of the parts that I don't need. Okay, oops, right, okay, so now I'm going to focus on the part here. Let's see. Okay, going back, B for brushed, and make it brush smaller. Now I'm going to go for detail, and I'm going to carefully erase the part that I don't want. If you're using mouse, you can just click for, especially during at the detail area over here. Alright, I can go smaller brush for more finer details, finer curves. Like that. Alright, so just to show you, of course can be better, so you can, you know, throw a bit more here. Alright, so that's how you can, you know, carefully cropped by using the masking tools. Now if you make mistake like this, you can always paint back white color and get it back. Alright, it's as easy as that. So it's very non-destructive way. Okay, so I'm going to show you here a little bit. Okay, now wait, before that let me show you what happens if you paint a gray color. So let's say I choose not white but a gray color. So what I will end up is I will paint a semi-transparent no masking. So yeah, just something to point out to you. Alright, so pure white is visible, pure visible 100%. Pure black is of course invisible. In the middle gray gradient here, you will have a like a semi-transparent effects. Okay, let's just remove this, and yeah. All right, so that is for masking. I'm just going to show you a bit before I finish. Gonna mask something with hair. So like her, right, she got this very nice blonde hair, so let's bring this in. Oh, quite big. Control T, remember, and then make sure you lock this link, and then you put like 50%. Okay, all right, now let's go to town with this. Just create a masking layer and brushed black color, make it big because you want to remove the excess first, all this garbage that you don't need, so that you can focus on the one that you want to focus on. Okay, so when it comes to the hair, now it's for hair parts, I recommend you use a pen tablet because it's a bit more easier, because you can play with a light touch stroke, or things like that. So I'm going to zoom in, hit the Z and zoom in. See, now for this area here, I definitely can use a hard round brush, right? Okay. Now for the hair part here, this is where you need to make the brush slightly smaller, and you really need to goes like that. And see here, see I'm using mouse here, so it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be super nice. So what I can do now, I can shift to a soft round brush, and I can add some softness to it. Like that, right? So like transparent hair like this, you can bring a bit of a color here just to get it back. But yeah, it's a bit hard to kind of do with the mouse to have a nice perfect blend. But the soft brush will kind of help it a bit. Right, if you zoom out, you look slightly softer. Alright, so that's how you can mask a hair. So a very tedious work, right? So yeah, that's the method of masking. So you got the eraser, you got the lasso tools, and you got the masking layer. That is the technique. Right guys, I see you on the next video. Bye bye.